Hey everyone, my name is Riley and this video is a beginner's tutorial on Beehiiv. This video is perfect for if you are just starting out on Beehiiv and you want to know how to use the platform as well as create a beautiful newsletter. I am going to cover everything that you need to know about Beehiiv as a beginner so that you can create your newsletter and get your newsletter off the ground using the Beehiiv platform. This is Beehiiv. And before we jump into the granular details of exactly how you would go ahead and create a newsletter, I want to run you through this dashboard so that you can first of all see exactly what we are looking at. So as soon as you load into your fresh Beehiiv account, this is the screen that you will be taken to. Over here, under the overview, you can see how many active subscribers you have on your newsletter. We can also see the open rate of your newsletter, as well as the click-through rate. Now, the click-through rate means that if you have any links in your newsletter, sending people to a different website, or maybe even a product you are selling, this is going to tell you of the people that opened your email, how many people actually clicked through onto that link. Over here under new subscribers, this is going to show you how many new subscribers you got in this set time period. So right now, this is showing me how many new subscribers I got in the last 4 weeks, but we can change this to any of these options right here. It's also going to tell me how many people unsubscribed and how many net subscribers this gives me. So taking in the new subscribers, minusing the unsubscribers I have. So let's say I had 100 new subscribers and 3 unsubscribed, then the net subscribers number is going to be 97. Further down, this is just going to show us like a charted version of this. So it's going to show us in chart form. So let's say we had 3 people subscribe on May 7th, that would show up right there. Then on May 8th, we had 2 and then 3 again. It's going to show up as a chart right here. Going down, this shows us the top acquisition source. So maybe you are getting your leads from YouTube or Instagram. It's going to tell you exactly where those leads are coming from. And then if you have any affiliates, this is a little bit more advanced, so I won't be covering this in this tutorial. However, if you do have affiliates for your newsletter, people that are promoting your newsletter for you, then it's going to tell you who your top referrers are in this area right here. Next along, we have engagement. So once again, we can see the open and click-through rate, but this is also going to show the amount of impressions that we have. So this is basically how many times you showed up in people's inbox. Let's say that you sent 4 emails over the past week and you have 100 subscribers. Well, the impressions is going to show up as 400. The 4 emails you sent times the 100 subscribers will give us 400 right here. Under monetization, this is actually where you can find different newsletters to promote yourself. And if you do, you will be able to make money from them. So with this one, side node right here, side hustles delivered to your inbox, read in just 5 minutes. You can click on apply and you can actually go out there and promote, in this example, side nodes to your audience. And every time somebody signs up to side nodes through your link, you are going to earn $1.72 per subscriber. So this is a way that you can make money from Beehiiv without actually having your own newsletter. However, that's not really why you are here. So let's dive into how we can actually do this. Over here in posts, this is where you can see all of the posts that you have created for your newsletter. And to start writing out posts, we can click on start writing, but we will go into this later. I want to finish off running through this dashboard. Next, we have audience. So in here, we can click into subscribers, and this is going to list all of the subscribers that you currently have. They will be listed down here. If you want to import subscribers from another email marketing software, if you are using like MailChimp or GetResponse, and you want to import your subscribers over, we can click on import subscribers right here, and then start new import. What we can then do is upload a CSV file. So let me just show you how this is going to look. I will use MailerLite in this example, but this is going to be the same no matter what email marketing software you are using. So you just go to your subscriber list right here, and then you should be able to find an option where you can select all of these subscribers. And then you should have like an actions bar at the top where you can go and export CSV. So we export the CSV file, then we go back over to Beehiiv, upload the CSV file that we just exported from your old email marketing tool, and then you can import all of your subscribers into Beehiiv. So it's a very effective way of just transferring everything over, and you can do this in the subscribers area. So that is all I'm going to cover for this specific beginner's tutorial. From here, we have things like grow, we have things like monetize, which I kind of covered earlier, and we have like design, where you can create a website and things like that. But that is a little bit more advanced, and I want to keep this strictly as a beginner's tutorial, showing you the basics of how to use Beehiiv, as well as create a newsletter. So to actually create a newsletter, we want to go back into posts, and then we can see we have two buttons here that says start writing. Now, we are going to click into this, but before I show you that, I want to show you this button right here. So this is where you can use a template. Because basically the way that we want to set this up is with Beehiiv, as you are creating a newsletter, you always want your newsletter to look congruent. You want to have your logo there. You might want to have a signature at the end. You might want to lay everything out the same. So we do want to create a template. And that's the first thing that I'm going to show you how to do. So all we are going to do is click into start writing. And in here, this is the writing tool, and this is where we create everything to do with newsletters inside of Beehiiv. So for now, because we are just creating a template that we can use in future to come back and use for all of our newsletters, for the title right here, we want to set this to template. Now we can go ahead and actually create this. So the basic thing inside of Beehiiv is pretty simple. You can click here, and then you can start typing out your newsletter in any way that you want. But the magic with Beehiiv really happens when we click on this / key, and you can see we bring up all of these commands that we can use. So this is how we can insert things like a TikTok embed, we can add buttons, we can add images, we can add logos, and we can do all of that inside of this area. So to create my template, the first thing that I am going to do is add in my logo for my brand. So we want to add in an image. We can click on image right here, and it's now going to ask us to upload an image. So we can click on upload, and then I'm going to go in here and select my logo. Just like that, I now have my logo added. To make this bigger or smaller, we just go to this top bar and click on options, and then we can bring the image width down, and that's going to make this much smaller. Let's say we want to set this to about 20, and that looks perfect. I also want to add a title under this, so I want to click on add caption, and then I'm just going to title this GeForce North. So we now have our logo and our title. As this is a template, I don't actually want to go through and start typing out a newsletter, but what I am going to do is I'm going to set the format for this. So maybe the first thing we want to put here is an introduction. Then maybe we want to add an image in right here. Then we can say content. Maybe we want to add another image, and then we can add like a link at the bottom and an outro. Now, this is a very basic example, and I'm just creating this to show you how templates are used, but this is my template right here. So now all we have to do is just go down to save template here at the bottom. Then we can give this a name once again. So let's just call this template. Then we can click save and continue writing. And just like that, this template has now been saved successfully. So what we can now do is back out of this. So let's back out again. And we can see my template is saved right here. So what this means is anytime I now want to come in and start writing a newsletter, instead of having to do all of that from scratch and creating the template every single time, what I can now do is click on this drop down arrow, use template, and then choose the template that I just created. So we can click into this, use this template, and now I can actually go ahead and start writing out the specific newsletter that I want to send out to my audience. So let's call this an introduction to GeForce North. Let's go for the title and set this as an introduction. Then we can go for the subtitle, and we can subtitle this whatever we want. I'm going to call this an introduction to the GeForce North YouTube channel. Then we can select authors right here. By default, you will be selected. And then if you have any guest authors, you can add them in right here. Now let's go in and actually start creating our newsletter. So in here, we can add an introduction. I'm going to make this very simple just to show you how this all works. And in here, we can say, hey guys, thanks for signing up to the GeForce North newsletter. Then we are going to add in an image. So once again, we just delete this, click on this slash icon right here, and we can add an image in. Now, because I've already showed you how to use an image, let me just show you how to add a button, for example. So we would click button right here, and then we can select from a preset. So let's say, for example, this is like see my recommendations. We can click on this, and by default, this button is going to pop up. But let's say that we don't want this. We can delete, go back in, slash, and go for button. We can also custom this. So we can choose what the button says right here. So let's say that this says subscribe. And then we can also choose to add a link. So let's say that, let's just link people to MailerLite in this example. So we just copy the URL that we want to send people to, paste this in right there, and then check. And now whenever people click on this button that says subscribe, they will be taken over to MailerLite. We can change the button color as well, just by going on this top toolbar. So anything that you do add in, all of the changes are going to occur on this top toolbar. So we can go in and change the text color to black, the background color to white, or any other color that we want. And that is how we can set up a button right there. Just as another example, I will show you one more thing. Let's add in a video. Let's embed a YouTube video. So we just select the YouTube video right there. Then we can go over to YouTube, and I will grab one of my own videos. So we can copy this, go back over and paste this in. And then as soon as we click enter, you can see that's now going to be embedded into the email for people to watch. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to use once you know the basics. You basically just select what you want to add in, and you can either paste a link or customize it using this toolbar at the top. To delete anything, we just click and delete. One other thing that I will show you is actually headings and things like this. So heading 1 is the biggest, and then heading 6 is the smallest. So if I go for heading 1, we can then type hello. Then if I go down and go for like heading 6 as an example, we can type in hello once again. And it is going to be bold, it is going to be a heading, but it's just going to be a lot smaller. So that's how we can add this right there. With standard text, we can just type like normal. The next thing that we can add is a link, and there are basically two ways that you can add a link into Beehiiv. The first is we can just go down, click slash, and then embed a link. So this is going to be different because let's say that we want to embed this link on Queen Elizabeth II, her Wikipedia article. Of course, we just copy the URL and then we can add it in right here. Then we can click enter and it's going to show up like this if we embed the link. Now we can change how this looks, like we can play around with all of these settings to embed the link like this. Or alternatively, you can link in the standard way, where we could just type out something like Elizabeth II, and then have a text link like this. The way that we do this is just by highlighting the text, and then we have this toolbar that appears along the top. So we can click on the link button, paste in the link that we want to link with, and then as you can see, that is now a link that people can click on, and they will be taken through to that Wikipedia article. So with text that you created, just standard text, you can edit this and change like the font and the colors and everything that you need to by highlighting it like this. Then we can bold, we can underline, we can strike through, we can highlight, we can basically do everything that we need to in this area right here. And you just do that by, sometimes it is a little bit glitchy and doesn't work, but just highlight the text like that. And then we have all of the settings right here. Then once you have created your newsletter, what we can then do is we can preview this before we send it. So if we preview, this is how it's going to look. We can check how this is going to look through email on desktop, or we can switch this to mobile. We can check this is all good. And then once it is, all we have to do is click on schedule. And then we can either publish now and send this to your entire email list, everybody who has signed up to your newsletter. You can publish it right now, or you can set a schedule. So let's say that we want to send this out tomorrow. It's currently the 3rd of June. So let's set this to the 4th of June at 3 p.m. So we can go in here and set this to 15:00. Then we can click review. Check everything on here, check the publish time, check the email and who this is going to be sent to. Then we can click on publish and that is going to be sent right there. If I try to publish this, I don't think it will send because I have 0 subscribers, but we can try. No active subscribers in the selected audience, just as this is a test account. But that is how you can schedule your posts right there, and that's how you can set everything up within Beehiiv. So that is my Beehiiv tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button, and until next time, take it easy.